¿Y cómo has estado? ¿Bien?
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien, gracias.
Qué bueno. Bueno,
Bien, vamos a paso veloz.
paso veloz.
Bueno, hoy vamos a empezar la segunda parte de la unidad 5. Recordarás que estuvimos trabajando, pues
Sí,
el tema pasado todo referente a los procesos y a los fallos, a los errores
sí,
y demás.
incluso
Y
vimos
ujú,
algunas partes y algunas.
exacto, hablamos de partes de automóviles, carros específicamente de los que son de carrera.
Racing, sí, racing.
Los racing car.
Cars.
Bien. Vamos a tener ahora en esta segunda parte, bueno,
Ujú.
lo tenemos aquí en pantalla, Assessing and Interpreting Faults. Nosotros podemos saber que false es una falla.
Exacto.
Entonces, ¿qué pasa cuando hay una falla? ¿Qué proceso se toma? ¿Cómo pues lo solucionamos? ¿Cómo interpretamos esa falla? Porque para muchas industrias una falla, un error, pues puede ser fatal. Como hay unos que lo toman como un aprendizaje de que tienen que mejorar o implementar algún sistema o proceso, así como otros lo toman como pues a veces del lado negativo, en el de que pues de seguro fue mi personal humano, de seguro falta de mantenimiento, no están atentos, etcétera. Entonces aquí es como nosotros interpretamos y pues afrontamos esas fallas que llega a haber en toda industria, de cualquier género. Okay, so assessing and interpreting faults. During this unit, we'll be working with the next topics. Following the focus on describing technical problems in the last section that you remember, the one of the racing cars,
Ujú.
this section looks at assessing the nature and seriousness of faults. As it says in here, the faults are natural. We are not perfect. Our process or systems are not perfect.
Ya.
So, this reflects the typical communication process following a technical fault. That means contacting the relevant technical expert
Ujú.
and explaining what the problem is. I mean, what happened and why. Then,
Ajá.
answering diagnostic questions to provide the expert with specific information about the fault.
Ujú.
After that, we obtain an initial assessment from the expert now on the nature and seriousness of the problem, as well as a advice on what action needs to be taken. It's simple. And the
Ujú.
first thing that I want you to think about, it's in technical problems again. During
Ujú.
this section, you will find the following vocabulary or language useful, such
Ajá.
as defect, defective,
Defect. Ujú.
fault, faulty, intermittent, major, minor,
Ujú.
properly, certain, systematic, wear and tear, and the words such as certainly or certainly not, perhaps that is a synonym of maybe, possibly, probably, or probably not.
Ujú.
And the conditions, it doubt it can be, it could be, it might be, it must be, or it sounds like it's, and stuff like that. All these phrases are used when we explain or try to explain at least a problem or a fault. I mean, if something is gone, for example,
Ujú.
when right now your earphones,
Ujú.
so there was a problem, they didn't function, but why? Maybe they have a defect, maybe, oh, well, let's change that maybe for one more professional word, such as perhaps they're broken, possibly they are not in good conditions. Probably it's not like the use as a microphone, the earphones, and stuff like that. Or maybe it could be that the computer's earplug connection or connector doesn't work well right now.
Exactly.
So we're going to use these phrases in order to explain,
Mhm.
in this case, assess the false.
Exactly. Cool. Good.
And
Okay.
as I was telling you, let's think of technical problems again.
Mhm.
And when we talk about technical problems, we go out with a question. What is
Mhm.
meant by assessing? And what is meant by interpreting?
Mhm.
What do you understand? What do you know in your work area? Or what is it for you to assess something and to interpret something?
In this case, maybe assessing is when I can explain to the people uh, talking about technicians or clients
Mhm.
about the or function or of the system of one system
Mhm.
about I can work uh, uh, in in a site. In this case, is try to explain uh, how can how can how can I uh, work how can I work with the different systems or heavy equipment or machine or vehicle or necessary procedure for work with that equipment, no.
Okay.
And interpreting I understand that I can uh, I can I know how can I work but taking the difference maybe a difference uh, process or maybe the different manuals. I can interpret the the
Mhm.
schematics or different programs.
Yes.
No, maybe is that is that that I understand like assessing interpreting. No, interpreting.
Okay. Yes. And actually, when we talk about assessing,
Mhm.
we can just well reach out some synonyms. For example, for assessing, we could also use evaluating.
Evaluating.
It's
Okay.
one of the possibilities in the synonyms, or
Mhm.
examining, of course,
Mhm.
and also making judgments. Oh,
Okay.
judgments. Okay. Meanwhile, for interpreting, this phrase makes reference to the knowledge of something. That means when you understand
Okay.
something. Okay. Or in this case, you reach to something. That means you reach conclusion. A conclusion maybe. Oh, it happens because of this.
Uh-huh.
So that's the subject with these words in here. Okay.
Okay.
So
Good.
let me just go move forward, and I'm gonna erase it. And well, we know what means assess, and we know what is interpret something. But what is mean now with the word troubleshooting?
In these cases, it's necessary to solve problems because if I talk about false,
Mm-hmm.
it's necessary solve the problem. For that, it's convenient make different process. In this case, the troubleshooting it's a way that
Mm-hmm.
can I solve the technical problems. Um, and maybe I can communicate different procedures in this case for that guides, I can understand troubleshooting like guides, process, ways, uh, suggest different different process, etc. No.
Okay,
It,
yes. So you mean to troubleshooting as solving problems to suggest or to share the possible solutions of something.
exactly.
Okay, perfect. Great. So let me just erase this again and let's go to, well, another quite question in here. Now, as an engineer, you're able to suggest the most effective way of solving technical problems.
Mhm.
Why? Because an engineer, it's always working with procedures, systems,
Yeah,
machines, and stuff
yeah.
like that. So there's always something to do or something that goes into a fault. So in your own opinion, which ones are the most effective ways of solving a technical problem? So, for example, when you try to solve a
Mhm.
technical fault
Okay.
whose cause you don't understand at first, what
Uh-huh.
should you do in order to make progress?
Well, in first way is the report. I have to I have to receive one report talking about faults. I mean, of the client, maybe
Uh
perhaps
huh.
of the client report one fault
Yes, a
or
failure.
yes, a failure or abnormality that he wants request for solve for to solve. No, in this case, this is the first the first step. No, the first step. After uh, it's necessary get information that I can take for to solve the problem and confirm that the failure exists. You understand that
Yes,
that
okay.
failure exists because maybe he report one failure, but no, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So it's
Okay.
important. The process is a big it's a big I mean mm, movie or history, but is necessary isolator the, all the information about
Okay.
I can work about I can work with that problem or I can take all information because for me it's important and I can determine the action necessary uh, uh, try to for to try to find
Hmm.
the root cause. No.
Okay.
In
So
this
you
way.
mean just to organize all the information of the
Yes.
failure?
Very nice.
So
Yes.
and of course, not all engineers work the same way as each other. That's
Mhm.
why some engineers, in some cases, they do prefer to take all the information with them. But other ones, they said, okay, I just need this information, this report card, this failure, etc. And they do not take in mind some more information. So each engineer has its own way in solving, of course, a technical problem. So in here, I just want you to elicit some three main targets in here.
Ah,
The
yes.
first one, it's identify. Well, identify what? The possible causes. That means why does it happen? Why did it happen?
It's,
Because maybe the process, the procedure was not the right one.
uh-huh.
Maybe it was problem from the machine? Was it maybe in this case a fabric defect, or maybe it fell down and it was broken, or something happened? Why? That means you need to
Mhm.
identify the possible causes.
Exactly. Yes.
The third one, it's known as eliminating.
Uh-huh.
Then what do we mean with elimination? Well, we eliminate possibilities. Once we know the all the possible causes, then okay, which ones are more credible? Let's say it
Mhm.
like this way. Which like causes are common right now and which ones
Mhm.
not? Okay, because of course you're not going to think of different causes at the same time. You just need to take out the causes that are not familiar with the problem right now. And the
Exactly.
last one, it's use. You're,
Uh-huh.
you're going to use what? You're going to use a process of elimination to dot causes. Okay,
Mhm.
so that from different causes, let's say for example that you got a problem, for example right now with the earphones, that they did not function using the microphone. So that's why I didn't listen to you at the
Okay.
beginning. So let's identify possible causes. Cause number one, maybe the computer's earplug is dirty, maybe. Okay, that's a possible cause. Second cause, maybe my earphones doesn't work. Okay, that's the second cause. The third one,
Mhm.
well, maybe they got wet, or they have some humidity, and that's why the connection is not successful. Okay, that's another cause. Maybe another possible cause is that there's
Defective products, defective products.
uh-huh. So right now we have four different possible causes, but I need to eliminate possibilities. And I start thinking, okay, but I bought my earphones 3 days ago and I used them yesterday and they were functioned perfectly. And I got the earphones with me. So it's not a fabric defect, and it's not because of the humidity, because I didn't go to a place with some water or something like that, and I didn't got wet. Sorry.
Mhm.
So I start eliminating the possible causes, and that's my third point. I use a process of elimination.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes. Good.
Perfect. And it happens with all the technical problems right now. So let's do go to our book. It's in this part. I suppose you're now looking at it. And it says,
Okay.
discuss a technical problem that you've experienced with a device, equipment, or a vehicle. Describe the fault and how you try to solve the problem. So think again in a
Mhm.
technical problem that you just have suffered recently. How did you manage to solve the problem? At least if you solve it. If you didn't solve it, then what are you thinking to do in order to solve it?
Mhm.
Mhm. Please give your opinion of an experience, a technical problem in a device, equipment, or a vehicle.
In this case, mm, I manage the problems, uh, taking taking inspections about the product, and discuss different problems with the technician or factory. Mm, For me, it's always necessary to do a process of elimination, uh, and identify the failures and find the root cause, for recommend one action about about the corrections correction
Mhm.
in the filer. Uh, but is each step I see necessary, or I see it necessary because if I have one space in the process,
Mm-hmm.
I have problems. I have problems because the observation in each equipment can be different for each equipment. Uh, so it is necessary reports for analyze
Mm-hmm.
different investigation, the different investigation.
Okay, so as you said with the report and stuff like that, of course there's a process
Yeah,
to make a good report.
yeah. I make
Hmm.
the report. Yes.
And that's what we have in letter B. As you can see in letter B, you have a training note. This
Mhm.
training note is for a telephone helpline staff working for a manufacturer or mining plant. And you have a photo of a cat bulldozer that works in the mines, like
Mhm.
silver, gold,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
diamonds, and stuff like that. So
Super, etc.
so you have the training note in here. Now, this is a process that a staff member talking about telephoning helpline needs
Okay.
to follow in order to, well, make a report. So as an example, you've got the process, problem solving checklist.
Okay.
First, users observations, the nature of the fault, circumstances of fault, and external factors. Then, number two, the process of elimination.
Exactly.
Third one, you identify the failure. Once you eliminate the possible causes, then you identify the right failure. And
Mhm.
finally, number four, you determine action and urgency to that problem. Is it important? Do we need to solve it right now? If we don't solve it right now, so we can't continue working? So that's the process in here. And I want to know your point of view for each of the four different processes.
Okay.
What do you think of the user's observations? Like, for example, what do you have to do? What
Uh-huh.
do you have to do in the process of elimination? And three and four, of course.
3 and 4. Process of elimination. For that process, it's necessary to get information. I mean, a specification, values, uh, readings, maybe pressures, um, and different tests,
Uh
electrical.
huh.
So with that, with that, I can analyze the following process, like identify the failure, because this similar to the human body.
Uh
If
huh.
I have one abnormality, talking about specification or readings or I don't know about different values, uh, I can I have to do or I have to pass. I can pass to the following process. In this case, identify the filer. When I identify the filer, I can use I can use different tools uh, to try to try to solve some problems and and focus with that abnormality. No,
Mhm. Yes.
uh, in the last process is that determine action. And work, when I work with determined action, it's necessary get all all the talking about information, all information for I recommend one action with that it's necessary recommend the better action because I cannot um, file with my recommendation because it can one more time I can get one more time another failure.
Mhm.
So it's necessary. And the urgency is it's always, but I have to get passion for that process because if I don't get passion, it's possible that me get mistakes or
Uh-huh.
multiple errors,
Because
no?
of the impatience and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yes. So, well, and also talking about urgency, that
Uh-huh.
means that you need to decide how quickly it needs to be done or it needs to be solved, the problem.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hmm. Great.
Oh.
So, just as an extra note for your comments, the nature of fault makes refers to the type of problem. Okay.
Mhm.
Then the circumstances of fault, that
Okay.
means the in what type of situation the fault happened. I mean, how was the machine working? What was it doing to get the failure? And
Mhm.
as external factors, of course, it says the name external. That means maybe the weather,
Exactly.
maybe something got stuck in the machine, maybe something hit the machine, something like that.
That's right. That's right.
Then, as process of elimination, that means to think in the possible problems and decide which
Mhm.
ones are not relevant or which ones are not possible, so
That's
that
right.
you, of course, reduce the number. Then, as you said, you identify the failure. That means that you find and decide what the fault is.
Uh-huh.
And once you know what is the problem, then you can determine an action. That means you can solve it.
Okay.
And well, the urgency, as I told you, how quickly it needs to be solved. And as I mentioned before, if it's urgent, that means that if I do not solve it right now, maybe I cannot continue working at the moment.
Okay.
So that's where we establish the urgency. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So
Generally,
talking about, uh-huh.
generally, I or me like engineer, I need register each case of that filer because for
Mhm.
me it's important. If I don't have registers or records, I don't have so much information for the next filer. Maybe perhaps I have several problems. No,
Mhm.
for me it's
Yes.
important the records and the registers.
Well, and actually, well, as engineers, you must have one
Mhm.
of them. That we call that a logbook.
Yeah, yeah,
It could be
logbook.
the logbook. It's
Mhm.
in this it helps you as an engineer. The logbook helps you to first to have like a historical of the faults. That means maybe in 1 year
Okay.
we have a similar problem. That
Exactly.
well, if we have the logbook, we can solve it quickly because we already know what to do.
That's right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. So, talking about this process, we have a listening about with Mr. Roney. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Roney, it's an engineer at a quarry firm, and
Mm-hmm.
he is talking to all.
Mm-hmm.
All is a helpline consultant. It's a telephone staff member.
Okay.
And well, Mr. Roney, the engineer, is giving all the technical problem of a diesel engine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna listen to the conversation and try to answer the 6 questions that we have in here.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please read the questions so that you understand what information you need to take out from the listening?
Sure. 6A. Okay. Number one. What does the warning message say? What external factor is discussed as a possible cause? And number three, why is this possible cause eliminated? Number four, in what circumstance does the fault occur? Number five, what does the consultant identify as the most likely cause? And number six, what action is required and how urgent is it? No? Okay.
Okay, so Let's listen to the conversation twice. The first one, you're just gonna listen and try to get information. The
Yeah.
second one, we're gonna go to the listening script so that you listen and read.
Mhm.
So at first, tell me if you're able to listen.
5.3.
Did you listen that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so listen carefully to the conversation between Mr. Roney and the telephone staff member All.
Mhm.
So, what does the warning message say?
When you start the engine, it says check injection.
Right.
Okay.
Obviously, it must be some sort of defect in the fuel injection system. The thing is, though, it only happens intermittently. Sometimes you start it and there's no message at all. So it might be a software problem, I don't know. Or maybe it could be a defective sensor.
Is the engine working properly?
It seems to be fine, yeah.
It doesn't appear to be misfiring or down on power?
No, we haven't noticed anything. Presumably, it can't be anything too serious. We thought it was possibly water in the fuel system, because it's an outdoor unit. But in that case, I assume there'd be major problems with it.
Has it been refueled recently?
Not that recently.
And was it refueled with diesel stored in your own tank or directly from a delivery tanker?
From a tanker truck.
I doubt it's water then, if the fuel went in directly from a delivery. You said the warning doesn't display systematically.
No.
In what sort of circumstances does it come up?
Well, when you start it up for the first time each day, it comes up. But then if you stop it and start it again a short time after, there's no message. It's when it's been off for a long time that you get the warning.
OK. So it's certainly a question of temperature. It only comes up when it's started from cold?
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like it's a faulty fuel preheater. It's probably just one of the preheater plugs that's gone. It's only a minor fault.
Oh, right. So it doesn't need urgent attention.
No. It can be replaced at the next service. Keep an eye on it, though. If any other problems start to show up, give us a call and we'll send someone over.
Okay. Okay, did you understand quite well the conversation?
Yes, it's possible that some answers I have one doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But the first question is, what does the warning message say?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In that case is about, he mentioned about the full injection. Oh no, injection.
Check injection. Uh-huh. That was the warning message that the machine leads to.
Yes.
Okay.
And the second questions, with different questions that maybe Mr. Ronnie responds. He mentioned that what external factor is discussed as a possible cause. I hear that it can be water.
Water, uh-huh.
Fully inject, no, in the full system, no?
In the full system, yes. That was the answer. The external factor is the water in the full system.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3 is, why is this possible cause eliminated? Well, in that case, I can. He mentioned about the that in the system, in the full system, the full system. I understand that put one. I don't remember that. Put one.
This question makes reference in why the cause of the water in the full system is eliminated. I mean, why is not possible that there's water in the full? And in this case, Ronnie mentioned that because the full was put directly from a tanker or a delivery tanker.
Oh, okay. 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 Yes. Good. And then
Okay.
number 4 is in what circumstance does the fault occur, right?
Yes.
That occur when the engine is started, no? Because the temperature is cold, no?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
The number five is what does the consultant identify as the most likely cause? In that case, he mentioned about preheater, the
Mm-hmm.
preheater
Yes.
with the fall is in the preheater.
In the full preheater block.
Okay, in the preheater block. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And finally,
Number 6, what action is required and how urgent is it? Well, he's talking what is necessary get the or change in the next service
yes, s-
because it's not urgent. Oh, it's
exactly. It's not an urgent problem.
yes, exactly.
Okay, great, excellent. All the answers were right, actually. So let's just listen and read the conversation again.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
well, in order to read the conversation, let's go to the book on
Mhm.
page, let me see, I don't remember if it was 95 or something like that.
All right.
It's page, let me look at it, 5.3, it's 90, page 90, and you've got it on the left side.
Left side. Mm.
Mhm. It's something that you have on screen right now. Okay, ready.
All right, all right. Okay.
Mhm. It's 5.3. So let's listen to the conversation just one more time. And now read to complete and
5.3.
understand.
All right.
So, what does the warning message say?
When you start the engine, it says check injection.
Right.
Obviously, it must be some sort of defect in the fuel injection system. The thing is, though, it only happens intermittently. Sometimes you start it and there's no message at all. So it might be a software problem, I don't know. Or maybe it could be a defective sensor.
All right.
Is the engine working properly?
It seems to be fine, yeah.
It doesn't appear to be misfiring or down on power?
No, we haven't noticed anything. Presumably, it can't be anything too serious. We thought it was possibly water in the fuel system, because it's an outdoor unit. But in that case, I assume there'd be major problems with it.
Has it been refueled recently?
Not that recently.
And was it refueled with diesel stored in your own tank or directly from a delivery tanker?
From a tanker truck.
I doubt it's water then, if the fuel went in directly from a delivery. You said the warning doesn't display systematically.
No.
In what sort of circumstances does it come up?
Well, when you start it up for the first time each day, it comes up. But then if you stop it and start it again a short time after, there's no message. It's when it's been off for a long time that you get the warning.
OK. So it's certainly a question of temperature. It only comes up when it's started from cold?
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like it's a faulty fuel preheater. It's probably just one of the preheater plugs that's gone. It's only a minor fault.
Oh, right. So it doesn't need urgent attention.
No. It can be replaced at the next service. Keep an eye on it, though. If any other problems start to show up, give us a call and we'll send someone over.
Okay,
That's right.
so I think it was a little bit easier using the rating.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's just go and move to the next part in here. So now that we have the listening, we know what happened to this machine, stuff like that. Let's continue with letter B. In this
Okay.
letter B, I'm gonna just make a small zoom, and it says match the words in the box to their synonyms in the sentences 1 through 7.
Mhm.
And we have the sandbox with different options such as defect, defective, fault, faulty, intermittently, major, minor, properly, and systematically. So look out the synonyms, please. So for
Right.
example, number 1, there is a problem. Oh, problem is synonym of fault
It's
or
fall with defect.
defect. So
Defect.
that's the option, and we write it there.
Mhm.
Number 2, perhaps something in the fuel injection system is wrong.
In this case, it's defective
Defective
or
or
faulty.
faulty.
Faulty, yes.
Yes. Number 3,
It's a serious problem. In this case, is major problem.
major problem.
Mm,
4 is a slight problem.
yes. Well, in this case, it's like well, this is Antonio minor problem, right?
It's a minor problem. 5,
It working correctly. Correctly is proper. Proper.
properly. Properly. Is it
Okay.
working properly? Yes. Number 6, the
Number six.
problem only occurs from the time to time.
Suddenly, right?
Uh,
No.
no, actually, there's not suddenly. It's
Ah,
intermittently.
okay, it's intermittently. Okay. Yes.
That means like sporadic. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay.
And well, number 7, could you please read it?
That problem doesn't occur every time. Systematically.
Systematically.
Okay.
Remember, we do not pronounce CAL. No se pronuncia la CA, se corta directo. Systematically. Okay, perfect. So may I erase this?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's just erase this and continue. Okay, let me go that. Perfect. So just as an extension quite activity in here, it talks about more vocabulary. So maybe this one you can write it on your notebook if it's necessary.
Okay.
And we're gonna work with some more extra words. Actually, I think there are like 9 words. Well, let's start with the first one. A warning message.
Warning messages.
Well, what's a warning message?
When I have one file code or one symbol on the I call card or in front of the operator.
Okay,
Display.
that means it's an electronic display which, what is its function? It describes a problem.
Okay.
That's the definition for this one. Okay. I'm gonna put it like in here because we have some more words. Oh, it doesn't look a lot. Let me put it down in here. The next one, it goes with, oh, it doesn't move. Oh, because of this one. There it is. A full injection system.
Well, it's a system of the engine. It's a system of the engine. This part is internal. And this device. Okay, this device is supply fuel to the.
Yes. It injects fuel to the system.
Okay.
Perfect. Then our third word is the sensor.
Sensor. Well, it's a component that detects different temperature.
Okay.
Like high or low temperature.
Like a heat sensor, a pressure sensor.
Yes, pressure sensor, temperature sensor temperature.
Okay.
etc. No, it's different.
Okay, thank you. What about misfiring?
Well, when I have one problem with the engine, in this case,
Mm-hmm.
especially in ignition or part,
Okay. So that means when the engine is not running smoothly.
yes, it's firing.
Smoothly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
Problem.
Problem just misfire.
And then,
Fuel. Well, when I have to fill the tank or the full tank, is necessary refuel. Maybe I need to fill the tank with fuel. Is that no? Refuel.
well, yes, in this case, a refill goes with that to fill up with fuel again.
Fill up. Okay. Fill up there
Fill up with fuel.
with fuel. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna erase this. It doesn't matter because the session will be on YouTube later.
All right.
And the other words are this one, a tanker. It was mentioned in the conversation. What a
Tank.
tanker is.
Tanker. It seems like tank. Yes. Tank.
Yes.
A big tank or one extension of the tank. Or,
Well,
I,
we'd say that a tanker it's a vehicle. Oh,
okay.
a
Okay.
vehicle that what? Well, with a large tank. I mean, with a tank. That's why it's a tanker. Like the pipes.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
In this.
In this case,
Ah,
it transports the liquids.
all right. Tanker. All right.
A tanker,
Good.
like the fuel, the diesel, and stuff like that.
Good. Good. Transport the liquid. Okay.
Yes. The next one, it's the full preheater. There was a problem actually.
Full preheater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this part of the engine is necessary for heat the fuel
Mm-hmm.
into the cylinder, in that part start the combustion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that allow the engine run or can run or running in for the like a power for the vehicle. Um, for that is necessary that preheater because in high no in low temperatures,
Mm-hmm.
talking about outside, is necessary.
Okay, so that will be a device in a diesel engine which heats up the fuel to be injected.
Okay.
Oh, I moved the other two. Well, the third one it's gone, and we have like a set phase.
Well,
Go, do you know the verb go? But what about engineering? What does it mean? Gone.
when I use gone, is when the parts affect is like a parts affected when the part
Mm-hmm.
don't function for me or for the vehicle. No, in that case, describe the components no convenience to the vehicle. No,
That means the ones that have failed.
exactly.
That's gone. And actually,
It's
we use
gone.
it not just in engineering, but in general daily life. Like, oh, it's gone. And
Yes,
the
this
last one, it's the
automobile is
service.
gone. It's gone.
Yes. And the next one, it's the service. What is the
Service
service?
is when it's necessary to attend one report or one file. So yes, it must plain maintenance. No?
It's a planned maintain, like the typical when you need to take the car to the service.
Yeah.
That's the point of view of this one.
Services.
Okay, I'm gonna erase this in here
Okay.
again. Okay, now, actually, before we just continue then, we have the resource sheet 5B. And this is actually the exercise I sent you. I think I sent you, or I didn't. No, I didn't, I think. No, yes, I did.
Ah,
I think, did I send you
Alright.
the resource sheet
uh,
by WhatsApp? I think I
I
did.
don't remember that.
Can you check?
Yes.
I think I sent it right like minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Uh-huh. So that you can print it. And that will be your homework, actually. It's not
Definitely.
difficult. The only thing that you're going to do is that you're going to match the words with the definitions. That means the words from 1 through 9 with the definitions A through H. That means what is a temperature gauge? What is a radiator? What is an electrical contact?
Yeah.
And you just like make lines if you want to. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Great. Okay, and that's the homework, so you print it. But tell me, did you have it right now on WhatsApp?
In this case, is very interesting.
Yes, you have it.
Yes.
Yes, I sent it by WhatsApp. Yes. Okay, perfect. So it's for you to just answer it then. And yes, because after that we have this point, letter C. And it says, made the possible notes about the 3 engine problems, match the faults. Okay, let's make just this practice and we finish.
Okay.
Okay, look at letter C. It says, all made the following notes about 3 engine problems, match the possible causes with the faults.
Okay.
Could you please read the first problem? What happened?
One, starter motor sometimes work. Yeah. Sometimes doesn't. Is 9 years old. Okay.
So which one do you think would be a possible cause? Look at the options A, B, C.
Okay. In this case, ABC. In this case, is maybe read the next distribution by one engine or replace the recently almost new. Okay. A new engine runs for 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Starter motor is electrical contact problem. Loose
It's
coils.
letter B. It's an electrical contact problem. Of course, it's not a manufacturing defect because the engine it's 9 years old.
Yes.
Mhm.
Maybe it's effect on the
Yes.
the
Now
service.
let's look at the second problem. It says distribution belt
Second problem.
failed. Engine blew. Belt replaced recently. Almost new.
In this case, it's the letter C because it's the manufacturing defect. Correct.
Why? Because it's replaced and it's almost new and it failed.
Almost new, exactly. Is that a reference?
Maybe an incorrect fitting of the device.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not compatible with it. I don't know. And could you please read the third problem?
Okay. And the third problem is new engine runs for 20 minutes. Then temperature goes always goes into red and engine cuts out. Safety override. And that is that letter A. Cooling system problem. Fan. What a bomb.
Exactly. Perfect. Great. And actually, that was, well, on first today, that's everything. Next class, we'll check your homework of the resource sheet, letter 5C, okay?